Welcome back to Behind the Box. Today we're going to be bringing you a review of Word Slam. Now this was sent to us by the fine folks over at Board Game Exposure so that we could do this review for you.
So Word Slam is a party game, and your group is going to be divided into two teams, a blue team and an orange team. Now each team will have a clue giver, and both clue givers are going to look at the same secret word. Now that's the word that they're trying to get their teams to guess. Now the tools that they have for this guessing is these cards. They're word cards, so it might have like a noun, a verb, or an adjective on it, and you lay them out on these little card holders for your team to see, and the other team cannot see your team's cards. Now your team is then going to be just guessing until they get it right. They're trying to guess like a phrase or word or an idea. And the first team to get it right wins.
We had mixed feelings about this game. The concept is really cool. It's the type of game we really enjoy. Party games love word games with unique sort of communication restrictions. Mm-hmm. We love that. That's something that we always enjoy. And this game is really cool for that. Mm-hmm. So when you are being given clues and you can't figure out what the clue is meant to be, you can just start throwing stuff out there, because everything you say as a clue has to be said out loud and loud enough for the other team to hear you. So you can start trying to throw off the other team. Or if you're not sure, but you feel like the clues you're being given are really specific, you can listen to the other team and try and apply your clues to that context, and it might help you figure out what it is before then, because theirs is maybe a much broader topic. Mm-hmm. That doesn't always happen that way. There was one game where I did do that. I was able to throw off the other team by just saying nonsense, and it worked, made them go a completely wrong path. But for the most part, that's not how it works. It is you get super focused on your own clues, and the clue giver for yours isn't listening to what they're saying and isn't working their clues around that context.
There are a few things that the clue giver can do to help out their team.
Yeah.
So you are while you can't speak, but you are allowed to point to the cards. So for instance, if you've got banana as the target word and you have out yellow, eat, plant, and the person keeps guessing daffodil or something, the clue giver can point to eat to kind of communicate to that person, hey, this is something you eat. Another neat thing is as your word cards are getting harder and harder the more you play the game, you might find that you get phrases that cover, a couple of words. And so what you can do is you've got two card holders, and you can separate them out. So maybe you can tackle one word on one card holder and another word on another card holder, or maybe separate them a lot, showing that there's a lot of distance between these two things if you're trying to communicate, geography or something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. You can get a little creative with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The idea is really cool, because you're not allowed to speak as the clue giver at all, and you can't do anything but emphasize by pointing or play around a little bit with the placement of the two card holders. So that is the sort of thing that we feel like is what we want in a party game. Mm-hmm. But honestly, for us, there are better party games to play.
Yeah.
That might not be the same for every group. It might have just been our group. But to me, a big part of the game felt like, okay, we're doing our own thing. The other team, you just go do your own thing. And it felt like we were playing two different games. And then one person would go, I've got it. And then you get told you now have to stop playing your game. It felt very disjointed. It didn't feel like a party game that brought the whole room together to have fun and laugh together. Because even your own failures, I find that in party games, your individual failures are the funniest part. The other teams aren't seeing that. They're not seeing the mess-ups and the silly questions and the silly guesses. Mm-hmm. They're just getting the answer right, and then you go, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, there were a couple of things that fell a little flat. For instance, the sand timer for us. So the purpose of the sand timer is a team can use it if they feel that they're getting quite close, maybe. They're feeling a little confident that they'll be able to guess it, and they can flip it. That puts a lot of pressure on the other team. Oh, hurry up. We're running out of time. We got to guess this really quick. it didn't get used like at all when we were playing because no one was quite confident enough, or they were bluffing too much to really flip that sand timer.
Yeah, I think the only good use of the sand timer could be if your team are nowhere near close to getting it and you feel like the other team are getting closer and closer. So just sort of putting a stop time on them before they get it. But even then, nobody did that when we played because they still have that confidence of, I can get there before them. I want to at least try and not give up.
Yeah.
So it feels counterproductive in that sense of giving up, but it's more of a strategy thing that just doesn't fit in such a loose party game. So that was,
Yeah, it didn't work for our group. Now, the game says that it's for ages 12 and up. But in the rule book, when you read the rules, it says you have to begin your round by, like, the blue team saying, word, and the orange team saying, slam. And honestly, I just can't see people 12 years and up digging that. I mean, it certainly didn't.
Like in an unironic way.
Yeah.
When we played with our group, that made everyone really irrationally angry that they were asked to do that. And we were like, no, we're not. No one say word, no one say slam. We're just going to say, let's start. Let's just go. So that was an odd aspect to the rule book. The only other thing is that the variety of cards is insane. There is a lot of stuff. The beginner deck, I think it's 10 cards of green cards. They're all the basic ones. If you played with new people a lot, you eventually will learn the cards. And I mean, it'd be on you not to do this, but you might just know that when someone picks a card and rolls a 6, and you know that a number 6 could be banana or tree or car, you could just start throwing out those words that you know are number 6s. As you get more into it and you do the higher level difficulty ones, there's a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that might be just something to consider if you are going to be playing it with different groups a lot at the beginner level.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that a lot of party games suffer from, and that's that the owner of the game usually has an advantage because they'll be more familiar with, like, for instance, in this one, they'll be familiar with those word clue cards. You might see banana come out and you instantly are thinking, okay, I'm going to go find eat in the verb
yellow,
deck.
curvy.
Whereas a new person wouldn't know that eat is in there. And so they'll be flipping through thinking, oh, this works and this works. So there's that as well.
Again, that kind of comes down to that individual person. But you're kind of saying to them, okay, you have to pretend like you don't know the cards that are in there. It's just, it's a bit of an odd thing. I think to enjoy it, you'd need to play it with a consistent group.
Yeah.
But even then, like, that's such a big ask of a party game, I think.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on Word Slam. We prefer other party games personally. It was okay. I like the idea. I think it can be improved. But I'll leave links to the game and Board Game Exposure in the description down below so you can learn more about the game and check out Board Game Exposure. And I'll leave our social media as usual. But until the next one, we'll see you soon.
Bye. 2 teams, a red team?
What's that again?
An orange team and a blue team. Oh my goodness.